Welcome in to a spooky edition of Bearcat Update. I'm Max Moore, and when I say spooky, I truly mean it. The jorts I'm wearing are a lot shorter than they probably should be. And for those of you who don't know, I'm dressed as famous professional wrestler Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'll try and do my best to keep things PG. We start this week with a team that had experienced something they haven't gone through in over 2 years, a loss. The Northwest football team traveled down to Pittsburg, Kansas to take on the Pittsburg State Gorillas. And Coach Wright spoke earlier in the week about the challenges that the Bearcats would face in heading into the jungle.
I think it's and I don't even know that it's a tough environment, it's an exciting environment. You know, a lot of times when we go play games, you know, we're very blessed to have an incredible fan base. And so we don't go into many venues where we're outnumbered from a fan's perspective. So to go into one of those venues and play in that type of environment it's exciting. Anytime as a college athlete you go into a place that's packed and you have a great crowd, they're engaged in the game, they're knowledgeable about, you know, how the game goes and stuff like that. It's just a fun environment to play in. And then, you know, those Pitt State kids, you know, they have a great program and a fantastic tradition. And, you know, we're going to come out, and we talked about it Sunday night, that whatever you see on tape, you can multiply times 10, because that's how hard they're going to play us this Saturday. They're going to give us everything they've got, and they've got talent.
And having been down to Pittsburg, Kansas to be in the jungle, it is certainly not an easy atmosphere to be in. And we have the highlights from this one, courtesy of the Pittsburg State student media. As we get things rolling on a pretty chilly day down in Pittsburgh, not too bad from speaking with the players. We get things started off with Shane Williams into the end zone, touchdown, giving the Bearcats an early lead as they look to take over this game. But Pittsburg State fights back into the end zone, a nice toss and a nice catch for the Gorillas. Pittsburg State looks to keep it close. They try to find this upset over the number 1 ranked Bearcats, and a blown coverage there by the Bearcats, unsure what to do, and the Gorillas take the lead headed into the halftime. Zach Martin's going to look to try and do something, but he overthrows Jordan Grove here, intercepted by the Gorillas, and it's just an awful day for the Bearcats as there's plenty of turnovers. Nice punt by Matt Thorman, taken down to the 2-yard line, returned but fumbled. The Bearcats would end up getting that one, but they would not be able to score as they look for a play, and Sean Bain gets it, bobbles it, and it's intercepted. One of the many turnovers for the Bearcats, and the Bearcats would eventually fall in this one, 20-10, bringing the Bearcats to 8-1 on the year, and as they fall now to second place in the MIAA, followed by Fort Hays State and Central Missouri, Washburn, Central Oklahoma, and Pittsburg State follow. And, well, there you have it. The Bearcats actually lost a game for the first time in 38 tries. Now, these are the anticipated Super 3 Region 3 rankings. Northwest will need a big win against Fort Hays this week to get themselves into a possible 2 seed. Should University of Indianapolis lose one down the stretch, Northwest could get back into the 1 seed of the region. And speaking of playoffs, the Maryville High School football team was in action Friday. The Spoofhounds took on the Warriors of St. Pius X in the second round of the district playoffs. I was there to catch the action, and let me tell you, it was a cold one. We get things rolling here with a big pass from Will Walker down, and nobody's going to catch him. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Maryville, early lead, and that dog is howling there. He's dancing a little bit too. He's having some fun. He was probably warm in that one. I wasn't, I'll tell you that much. Here's St. Pius X. The Warriors off to a big run over on the opposing sideline, and look at what he's going to do right here. He's going to turn around and say, "You can't catch me." Touchdown, Warriors. But that would be the only shining bright spot, as the fans there for the Spoofhounds know they are going to win this game. Here's an interesting little defensive, I don't even know what to call it, a little sequence here as he's going to try and look for a place to go. Intercepted, and they're going to take that one all the way down to about the 2-yard line, where then the Spoofhounds will then punch it in to give them an extended lead into the half, and that would be the end for the game, as the Spoof Hounds would roll in that one and advance to the next round of the playoffs. 42-7 was the score. Maryville moves to 9-2 on the year as St. Pius ends their season at 4-5. Tyler Houchin, 157 yards with 2 touchdowns, and Eli Dallas, another big day as usual, 141 yards and 2 TDs. Maryville now takes on the Chillicothe Hornets in the district finals. The Hornets won the matchup earlier in the year by a score of 24-0. Chillicothe is coming off a big 60-7 win over Pembroke Hill. And we're going to take a break and stay tuned. We have Coach's Corner coming up next. And welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Max Moore. The Northwest soccer team was in action over the weekend. They took on the Griffins of Missouri Western on Friday. And we got the highlights here from that one, as it was a chilly day in Maryville. Winds were howling, temperatures were in the 40s, but it felt more like the 25-degree mark, as it was just darn right cold. Ashley Malloy had a busy day. First, she starts off there with a nice save, and the defense had plenty of work to be had as they tried to just keep an onslaught of shots away from Missouri Western, but they were not able to keep that one away, as Anika Knobs, number 4, was able to break through on that one. Here's a free kick save by Ashley Malloy, and one of the seniors for Northwest. There's one of the lone opportunities from Alex Mosbach, number 5. Northwest did have 8 shots on the day. None of them were to be able to find in the back of the net. And there's a goal by Sarah Blakely, number 22. And unfortunately for Malloy, those 2 goals would be the proving factor, as the Bearcats would fall 2-0 against the Missouri Western Griffins. The Bearcats would move 6-10 on the year overall and 3-7 in MIAA play. The Missouri Western Griffins were 15-2 on the year and 9-1 in MIAA play. But on senior day, the Bearcats took on Lindenwood and won that matchup 2-1, as the Bearcats finished their regular season at 7-10 and 4-7 in MIAA play. And now time for Coach's Corner. I'm joined by senior from Ankeny, Iowa, Hannah Goetz. Hannah, how are we doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And so you got the win again today against Lindenwood. What was that game like today?
It was really exciting. It was a chance of our seniors' last game. It did end up being our last game, so we just really wanted to go out there and get a win to end our season on a positive note.
And you mentioned that it was your last game, and you played all 4 years in the program. Reflect on your time in the program, and what was that whole 4 years like for you?
Yeah, I obviously had some highs and lows like anyone going through a collegiate program would, but overall it was a really great experience. I had some really amazing teammates, and I made some memories that will last me a lifetime. So.
Who were some of the older teammates that you had, that any few in particular that you just maybe want to thank them, or any ones that really led you along the way to be the senior you were this year?
Yeah, I would say Crystal, who graduated when I was a sophomore, and then there's Lizzie Lee. They had great attitudes, and I just really looked up to them as a younger classman, so I would say those 2.
And who were some of your favorite, not to single anyone out or to say that you didn't like any of the rest of them, but who were some of the younger girls that you really liked and really took under your wing?
Yeah, I would say I'm probably, in the sophomore class, I'm probably closest to Natasha. She's always fun to be around, and then Perry and Abby are both pretty good friends with me, and I don't know, they're all really, I liked them all.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of young talent. It seems like you guys have done a good job with trying to get them integrated with the system, and it seems like they're set up pretty well for the future. What kind of impact, or how exciting is it to see all the young girls do so well this year, and you kind of left a legacy there for them?
Yeah, I'm really excited for them. We're obviously losing 8 of us, but they have so much talent, and a ton of them got playing time this year, and I think going forward, I believe they'll have even a better season than we did this year. So.
Do you have any fun memories or stories that you can share? I guess I know one of them for me was watching the incident, I guess we should say, against Lindenwood a couple of years ago. But do you have any personal favorite memories or stories that you've had over your 4 years?
I would say that was one of them. It was senior day, the same game we had today actually, and we went out with a brawl. And that was something you don't see often on the soccer field. So that was a good memory.
Yeah, that's certainly, I remember that one. That was quite the experience. And what are your plans for after school, by the way?
I'm going to graduate in December, and then I'm going to stay here and get my Master's of Business Administration.
What do you hope to do with that?
I'm not sure right now. Something obviously in the business world, but I don't know what I want to do yet, so take on some more school.
Yeah, and trust me, I don't think anybody really knows what they want to do yet. So businesses, Hannah Goetz is a great hire for you. As you know, I'm graduating in December, so look out for us. So your birthday's coming up, and it's on Halloween, right?
Yes.
Halloween, and your parents weren't worried about that when it happened? When you were born on Halloween, they weren't a little worried?
I'm sure they were, but now they should probably be more worried.
I guess it's probably not Friday the 13th, so I guess it's a little bit better than Friday the 13th. What was it like growing up with that? Did you get made fun of at all? Or, I don't know, maybe it was probably a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, when I was younger, sometimes people would make fun of me and call me a witch because I was born on Halloween.
Oh, that's just as mean.
Yeah, but it was fun getting to do your birthday as Halloween parties and having everyone dress up. It's always fun.
So you got to have the themed birthday, regardless of what, the time of year was, because it was always Halloween.
Yeah.
That's always fun. What was your favorite costume growing up?
Oh, man, that's a good one. I was a Power Ranger one year. It was pretty cool.
Power Ranger, that's pretty good. I don't think I was ever a Power. I was Santa Claus once. That threw people in for a loop, but I kept getting the same thing. Like, oh, it's Santa Claus, you shouldn't be coming in later. But, whatever. It is what it is. But Halloween's fun. You're fun. It was great having you on the program. It's great seeing you, and that's all the time we unfortunately have. And be sure to tune in for more here on Bearcat Update as we talk some men's basketball as they headed out to Duke University to take on the Blue Devils. And we're back on Bearcat Update, and boy, that's a scary looking pumpkin there with the Iowa one. Oof. And no, I'm not Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm your host, Max Moore. The defending national champion Northwest Missouri State basketball team traveled to Durham, North Carolina to take on the Blue Devils of Duke University. The players described the experience as unforgettable. Our reporter Michael Byland caught up with the team to see what their mindset was headed into the matchup against the #1 ranked Blue Devils.
It's that time of year again. The Northwest men's basketball team gets ready to lace up against the infamous Duke University to kick off the season.
Well, I think it's a fun experience for our guys, first off. I think secondly, when you prepare for the type of athleticism that they present, it challenges every aspect of the game, meaning you're going to have to pass fake, you're going to have to meet passes, you're going to have to get back in transition, you're going to have to really box them out. We'll prepare like it's a normal game. We're going to prepare, and we're going to get something out of it.
This whole summer, we've just been playing together. Preseason's been tough, and just to finally get to play against somebody else and for it to be particularly Duke is it's really exciting. As a kid, you grow up and you watch teams like KU and Allen Fieldhouse, and then you watch Duke on TV, and to have this experience is just so surreal because you actually get to play against them now.
I want you to recover here.
Having a fun, probably a once-in-a-lifetime experience for some of these guys, where Cameron Indoor, that, and probably Allen Fieldhouse are, two of the cooler venues to play basketball, and give our guys that opportunity and to play against obviously a Hall of Fame coach and Coach Krzyzewski. It'll be a fun experience.
For Bearcat Update, I'm Michael Byron.
Thanks, Michael. And the Bearcats head into Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on the Blue Devils. And with special thanks to Duke University, we have the highlights from that one. As we roll here, what a special evening it must have been for those Bearcats as they took on the #1 ranked Blue Devils. Here's Chrissy Buendow starting off the year with an early lead for the Bearcats. It wouldn't last long. And there's Joey with us. He's with us now. He's not against us, the Minnesota State transfer. And he's going to follow it up with another three. I'm going to like the sounds of this going out through the rest of the year. Multiple three-point shooters for the Bearcats as they come into the second half. Here's another deep ball. I'm really excited for this 3-ball. The way they're playing against Duke, too. Oof. And there's Justin Pitts with another 3-ball. And here's Brett Doherty with a nice little touch on that one. Must be a pretty cool feeling to be able to score against the Duke Blue Devils. And here's Tyler Hudgens. A nice little lay-in, and the Bearcats would end up falling on this one by a score of 93-60. That game will not count towards the regular season record, as both teams will start 0-0. Justin Pitts had 7 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, and Chrissy Boone Dow had a nice 10 points, just with a couple of rebounds and 1 steal. And we have one more break, but don't turn that dial. There's plenty more here on KNWT, Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm Max Moore, and the Bearcat volleyball team was in action over the weekend. The Cats took on the 16th-ranked Central Missouri Jennies on Friday. Northwest continues to try and catch a stride before the conference playoffs. We have the highlights from that Dig Pink match on Friday, as they wore those nice pink uniforms that I wish we had pink uniforms as a football player. It'd be something different. We start things off with sophomore Maddie Earns setting the ball up to Hallie Sidney with a nice slam there, and Hallie Sidney had hit 500 with 15 kills and no attacking errors. The freshman added 4 digs and a block as well, as the Bearcats get another point there. Sarah Danitel is going to set the ball up to Maddie Bruder, and she spikes the ball there. Senior Sarah Danitel had a nice day with 21 assists, 6 digs, 5 kills, and 3 blocks. And there's some fans dancing in the crowd, pretty happy about this Bearcat performance. Maddie Bruder bumps the ball to Maddie Earns, sets the ball, and Hallie Sidney spikes the ball as the Bearcats are going to win this one by a score of 3-1, moving their record to 14-11, 8-5 on the year, upsetting the 16th-ranked Central Missouri Jennies. And on Saturday, they would unfortunately fall 3-2 to the Lindenwood Lions, bringing their record over the weekend to 14-12, and in the MIAA, 8-6. And we continue with our sibling series that we've had over the past few weeks. We started with the SQ brothers, and then we had the Doherty brothers last week. This week we have 2 sisters on the Bearcat soccer team. Our reporter Amber Gierstorff caught up with Molly and Cassie Holtman to share their story.
For the Northwest Missouri State community, family means everything, and for sisters Cassie and Molly Holtman, that bond is even stronger. The 2 girls have grown up playing soccer together, and for Cassie, a senior on the soccer team, having her younger sister as a teammate for her final season makes the experience even more special.
It means a lot. Family's just kind of everything to me, and so it's just nice to have her there and be able to celebrate and cheer on our team together.
Molly is a redshirt freshman and says that playing on the same team as her older sister has helped motivate and encourage her this season.
She's always my biggest support system on and off the field, honestly. She's always been supportive, and she's always been that positive outlook for me.
For Cassie, the best part about being on the same team as Molly has been getting to watch her play and improve throughout the season.
Really cool. She doesn't need a lot of mentoring. She's just a great player. She's always been just an awesome player, a real scorer. She's dynamic and play anywhere, so it's fun to just actually get to play with her and not actually have to coach her up too much.
Cassie is actually the second Holtman to attend Northwest. Molly and Cassie's older brother Chris graduated from Northwest in the spring of 2016, and their younger sister Maddie is a current senior at Maryville High School. Cassie said that being a Bearcat is a tradition that she hopes her family continues.
Chris came here first, and then I think it's just nice to be so close to home and close to our family that we all just decided that it's just a good place for us. So we'll see what our youngest one does, but maybe we'll get a four-time sibling here.
Cassie competed in her last regular season game as a Bearcat on Sunday afternoon. Molly says that although it will be strange not playing together, she can't wait to see where Cassie goes after graduation.
I'm excited to see what she does next, and I'm really proud of her for always pushing to her best potential. I mean, she's always pushed herself in ways that I don't know that I could, but she's great. Yeah.
Reporting for Bearcat Update, I'm Amber Gierstorff.
And here are some of the games coming up this week in Bearcat Nation. On Tuesday, the Bearcats head to Truman State in Kirksville, Missouri to take on the Bulldogs in the volleyball matchup. And on Friday, the Bearcat volleyball team again is in action against the Southwest Baptist Bearcats. Hopefully get a win in that one. And on Saturday, the Bearcat football team is in a very big game as they take on the undefeated Fort Hays State Tigers, looking to try and get a share of the MIAA crown. And the volleyball team will be down in Joplin, Missouri, as they take on the Missouri Southern Lions. And thank you for tuning in to the program. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8 and watch us on YouTube on KNWT. And remember, each day you either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.